Sanna. What else can be said about Sanna? An angel, a dream. Okay, so I wrote out the opening introduction like really laboriously and quickly, and then I thought, how do I even introduce Sanna at the very end? And so this reading series, it gets its name and its kind of vibe of espionage and co-conspiracy and friendship across distance from the non-aligned movement and the history of anti-colonial networks of friendship and solidarity. And I feel like this actually feels really appropriate to how I met Sanna. I came into Sanna's orbit some months or weeks or years ago, and since then I've been so, like, honestly, I've thought of this as like very much a blessing. I think we came into each other's orbits either on Instagram or in this like world of like vast Zoom readings, or just in like the secret pact held between all immigrant daughters, even if they're not in the same nation. And in such a short while, she's become such a vital and brilliant and important friend to me, and kind of a writing guru and necessary interlocutor. I'm a very shameless person, so Sanna reads everything I write, and really sweetly has become this like essential cog in how I think about writing and how I think about thinking and how I think about friendship, and that's been very tender for me. She has this like innate skill of listening in on all the right places, of like tapping very softly where there is something more, and like invoking a garden to grow. And I feel like this is the vibe that resonates throughout her entire collection of poems, which I highly recommend you go pick up if you don't have it already. Yeah, I really feel like Sanna could tap the desert for its hidden membrane of water just by knocking politely, and it would come flowing out like, here I am, I'm the river you wanted. And it's so, so special to be in conversation with you and get to be in your magical orbit. And I hope that your magical orbit is like a space that we can all live in and write from for many years, but it's been such a blessing. Everyone give it away. Give it up for Sanna Wani. Sanna, take it away.
Oh my goodness. Oh my actual goodnesses. Thank you, Malvika. Thank you everyone so much for being here. I know we're running a little over the hour, so I'd just like to put into the virtual world that like, if you have to run, you have to run, and I love you deeply. This launch, this moment that we are having together is more precious to me than any pieces of paper. Though pieces of paper are very important that they lead to this, and I know trajectory, but thank you all for being here, and I feel so full. Okay, so I'm gonna read a few poems that were just lingering in the back of my mind. I don't think I'm gonna read a lot from the book. I hope that's okay, because this is a book launch. But I'm just gonna read like 3 and be like, the rest is a surprise. The code exists on 20. You can buy the book and read it. But I will read a few now. This poem, I'm wearing this set today, which is my grandma's. And she passed away last January from many things, but she was really on my mind as I was preparing to think about what to read for today's launch. And I just want to read a couple of poems in the book that are really directly about her. So the first one is Today and Every Day Without You. And it begins with an epigraph from Alexander Ristovic, which I read in Heather Crystal's book, The Trees, which is a beautiful book that you should read. And the epigraph goes, I don't care about the flowers, which I merely invented to give myself another reason to address you. Today and every day without you is long and sharp tastes like milk and salt. A teacup where you sat, like so many trees, is now dry. We drink like tired fossils from the rock of our want, from the dregs of green and pink flowers, hungry for the sun like the roses in the garden, or the dream I had where you became the sky, where I met you in the unhurried blue of an afternoon, Daisy who stands to greet me, the sun, the breeze sliding down the letter H until I am home, waiting for your call. My mother, watching the water, sits still in the garden, light bouncing continually through our hands, the marble of the door, bright bronze and broken. Oh, hungry flowers, I am trying to show you how quiet the slope of my desire sits on the hillside. Endless, buried. There you are in every beautiful thing, wearing the light. Again, I am watching. The trees again, the sky is calling for quiet. The morning, like everyone's eyes, the door shut tight, only the daisies unfurling, watching as I leave. And then I think I will read. It's Eid tomorrow. I love God. So I'm going to read a poem about that. How about, I'm going to read this one. Sorry, I was deciding. Where is the key for our understanding? Look at the lock. No one can prove tradition. Nothing can be located, not even the spot from where God left the earth. Everyone is always competing to be the most sacred. This is how we think of the early. Everything is always moving. The idea of you was not new, but it was arriving someplace it had not been, like inside us, where it could strike root, where it could blossom. God is the exalted and absolute other. All the books agree, but history is not a book. It is true for a long time, then dust. Find God where he is. He used our terminology to escape attention. God climbs so many trees. Religion is a ladder. We are meant to help him down. And then I'll read one more. This is also from section 2. I didn't explain anything. I just started reading. This is from section 2, which are these erasure poems. But we look in vain for any hint of God's footprint. It would have folklore, a path. We want proof of the imperial self, and God wants to breathe. Look in either direction. The day is an orientation of light. The ocean, an endless symmetry. I want a God who says, I want nothing from you. I want to prove the self is hollow. We love a kind of silence, an absence we extend. Cool. I told this story before the reading started, but I had a copy of my book, and then my nephew took it to his school for poetry section in class, and then I have never seen the copy of my book again. So children, they'll probably do something great with it. I'm reading off of this PDF, which I will just scroll to the poem that I want to read in the last section of the book. Which are the last 2 poems of the book. So I have gone long nights with the mouth of sorrow at my throat and only whispered to you in the dark. Nana, in my dreams, I am running. I am always running. I could be, I mean. Never is a word I want to claw out of the world, but can't. Not yet. Not while I am tied to the post of my bed, the stake of my body glowing in the dark. Nothing I do asks anything of the world except listen. My hands are a plea. Dear God, my hands weep. What do we do now? God reaches through my hands, heart wound in light. At the end of God's hands, someone is waiting for me. Someone is holding a lilac or a lily. It depends on the day. The memory climbing out of you or in. Something grows and grows again. You kiss my dreams, the only answer. I follow a song to my room. The clothes I left piled on the chair are folded. A bowl of cut fruit on the desk. A voice floats in through the open window. Ooh, should I try to sing? Okay, I will, but I'll be shot. A voice floats in through the open window. Zindagi aur kuch bhi nahi, teri meri kahani hai, ek pyar ka nagma hai. A moment that has not happened yet. My mother walking with a cane, tired hands, gray hair, back bent. My mother who begins to look more and more like her own. My mother who sat across from me today, who sat across from me, kissed me so many times with her eyes and said, "You are my daughter. You look just like me today." Kisses.